Hey guys, what's up? Just got home from work and checking out comments on YouTube before I had to go to bed, and I ended up having to ban an idiot, but not before, of course, giving him a few choice words before I did so. Look at the latest video I put up, and I'm pretty sure you'll see his dumbass comments, and I'm sure some of you guys know who it is, and I don't really need to mention names. He knows who he is, you guys know who he is, and we'll leave it at that. But he's banned. I'm going to take this time to explain why I would ban someone, considering that I usually don't block people from my channel. And you guys know I usually don't. But there are a couple of special people on a list. Hell, I don't even have Crazy 316 blocked, by the way. As much as I don't like him, he hasn't really been a jackass here. And that's one of the things that will get you blocked. But he's not blocked, which goes to show you how lenient I can get. I don't mind differing points of view. I don't. In fact, this latest talk that I was having, bringing up the healthcare debate, should prove that, because there have been several people going, I don't think you're right, or, yeah, okay, I accept that, but, and they've come up with some pretty grand arguments saying that, okay, I think your point was invalid. No, I think that's wrong. No, it's actually this. Even made videos, like K. Biomek, for instance, and Richard Roy, and they're good videos, by the way, guys. Damn good videos. That's why I allowed them, to show up as responses to my video, because I think people should watch them. I don't mind different points of view. There's a debate going on underneath those videos right now. I don't mind dissent. In fact, that's how you get ideas. You have to share ideas through different points of view. You don't get to learn something or get to come to a conclusion about something unless you have different points, because everybody's going to see things differently. That's not my problem. My problem is when you can't do it in a civil freaking manner and you act like you're the shit and everybody else is just shit. Then I have a problem. And if you can't curtail that behavior, you're gone. Another thing I can't fucking stand is if you have a grudge against somebody who happens to show up here and you're gonna just jump in and keep on attacking them under my video. Listen, your fucking grudge has nothing to do with what goes on with what I do. You come here, I don't give a damn if you happen to see somebody who, the person who stole shit from your house happens to be underneath the video. You act like a fucking civil person when you're here. You don't insult. You don't throw a whole bunch of garbage lines. And you definitely don't... Another thing that will make me dislike you real quick is blind patriotism. I can't fucking stand blind patriotism. I don't care what it is. Whether it's American patriotism, German patriotism, Russian patriotism, African patriotism. I don't give a fuck. If you're somebody who can't look past your flag's colors, I'm automatically going to dislike you, because that means you're too stupid to realize what your government or your country might be doing against you, and that some of the shit that they might have taught you could possibly be wrong. And in this case, I had to deal with somebody who, on one hand, is talking about how bad his government is, which is why he's going to be putting down the comments he did, because I'm pretty sure he's one of those people championing the Tea Party, so of course he's against his government. But on the other hand, I bet you anything from the comments he put up that if you're somebody who doesn't fit his typical American man image, he's going to think less of you as an American citizen, despite the fact that you may be one. If you're someone like that, you got no place watching my videos, much less commenting on them. My shit's not for you. Okay? Now, you may take that any way you want, like, oh, he thinks he's better than me, I hate you, yeah, whatever, but go somewhere else. Go back to dealing with the caveman type people that you deal with, who are more akin to listening to the garbage you spew. In this channel and the videos I put up are more for people who wish to debate their differences in a civil manner. There's plenty of people who watch my videos who do not agree with me, and I welcome them with open arms, because when they debate civilly. And by doing that, I'm more open to their ideas. I've learned a lot since I've come here on YouTube. I never before considered, for instance, that I might have anarchistic leanings until I started dealing with people who are anarchists. I never before considered that, some conservatives actually aren't complete assholes until I started doing this shit. And you want to know why? Because the people of those particular points of view were able to deal with me civilly, and were able to talk to everyone else under the videos civilly. They weren't going around calling people names, they weren't calling people whores, and they weren't instantly assuming something about someone just because they said something that they didn't fucking like. So, If you're that type of person, and this is going to anybody who happens to be stumbling upon my channel or these videos, if you're the type of jackass who cannot deal with differing points of view in a fucking civil manner, if you can't actually see the person that you're talking to who has a different point of view as another freaking human being deserving of respect, you have no business here. The door is that way. Don't let the doorknob hit you on the way out. If you continue to persist, I will block you. That is what's going to get you blocked. If anybody has any, confusion as to what will actually get you blocked on my channel, that's it. Basically, just being a jackass. That's all it comes down to. If you're an asshole, a jackass, if you're someone who just has to be a mean-spirited motherfucker, you're gone. I don't care what your leanings is. You could even be someone who agrees with me. You're gone. I don't put up with that shit. Now, listen, I'm all for free speech and, letting people live and let live and all that, but come on now. We got too much of that bullshit going on in the world right now. That's one of the reasons why this country is in the mess it's in. I am not going to have that on my fucking channel or in my videos. Period. Enough is enough. Now, some people might think that's a little bit too harsh, but I don't think I'm asking for much. Because tons of people have been able to debate things like this under my videos for over 2 years now without any trouble. If you're someone who's going to be causing trouble, you're out. Go somewhere else to have your little troll wars. Not here. And if you got a grudge against somebody here, take your grudge somewhere else. This is not the place for it. Period. If you can't be that, if you can't even be that mature, you shouldn't be debating with people at all. That's it. I think I got nothing else to add to that. Oh, and by the way, to get off that unpleasant subject, just on the topic of healthcare itself, because I know the bill is passed and there's still a fight going on. I don't know if you guys really know what I personally think about the bill. I think that some people know, some people don't know, some people might have an idea. Believe it or not, I kind of don't have an emotional attachment either way. I don't, because I'm not caught up in the emotions of the debate to instantly want to choose a side. I see problems with both sides of the argument. I've mostly been explaining on the, talking about the flaws with the side of the argument that says F healthcare for people, because it's like, come on, if you live in a society, you should want the society to, everyone be protected by it, be, equal in it, and make sure everyone in it is healthy. You should not have a system that's going to fleece them and punish them because they happen to be sick. But on the other hand, having an oppressive, authoritarian type organization forcing it upon people isn't exactly a good idea either. Which is why I tried to frame this debate not in the politics, but simply in the question of, should healthcare be something that everybody should have or not? I wanted it to get back to basics, to go to a place where I think everybody can agree with, and then from there we can talk about, well, how should such a thing be implemented? What would be a better way to implement it? Now, of course, this is all going to just be philosophical grandstanding, because it's not like the ideas we would come up with would be implemented, but it's something, to think about for the future. If we end up being able to dictate policy, if our children are somehow going to be able to dictate policy, but it's something for us to think about, because we're part of this society and we're supposed to be building towards a better society later on. These are the type of things we should discuss. So if we believe that this might be a good idea, then we got to think about, well, how would it be implemented? And I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be going, yeah, forcing people to pay for it, it's not, doesn't sit right. I could understand that argument. I'm not trying to go against that. But what I am trying to do is just talk about, well, how could we do it? And let's be honest, I'm also trying to get people to look at their motivations. Everyone who's talking about, oh, it's going against my freedom and individual rights, they're not saying that because they actually believe that. They're actually saying it because they're too selfish to share their money. And that's the one thing I want exposed. Not everyone who talks about freedom truly believes in it. You gotta look at their motivations. And also to talk about this bill itself, one thing I never really liked about it is how they're making it a mandate that people have to buy insurance or else they get fined. Sure, they'll give subsidies, but they got to be fined by it if they don't get it. Why are you punishing the people for? It's not their fault they don't have insurance. The reason why they don't have insurance is because they can't afford it. And now you're saying, oh, you better buy it or else. That doesn't sit right either. Another thing that doesn't sit right, and it's something that my wife has been talking about a lot, is the fact that it's called healthcare reform. It's not healthcare reform. It's health insurance reform. It's not even all that much good reform on health insurance either, because it's keeping these businesses running. All they really did was just open it up so that they have to accept more customers. That's really all it did. But the way healthcare is actually practiced in this country is still not really being discussed. And that's a major problem in this country also. How people are being treated, the diagnosis, the drugs that they're giving them. That's important, but none of that was addressed. So yeah, I can look at both sides of the issue here. Can you? If you can't, get lost. Okay? This isn't the place for you. Go back to the caveman dwellings and go back to the people who want to oppress everybody else.